So this is just a quick look at solving linear equations. And I wanted to look at the first type of question we've got, which really has kind of two stages. Like the base of what we really want to do is to get our number on one side of the equal sign. So we've got just a number like 2 on the one side, and we're just going to have y on the other. So we'll have y equals some number. So that's our challenge here. We've got to manipulate our equation to do that. And these ones basically have two parts. And that's one, we're going to get all our y terms or our variable terms onto one side and get our number terms onto the other. Then we're going to collect our like terms. So that's put all our y's together, put all our numbers together, and so we'll have just something times y on one side, and then we're going to have just a number on the other. So we'll go through that step by step right now. So, and it's all about working out what you need to do each step at a time. And basically, it's working out that you want to keep your equation balanced. So if I do one thing to one side, then I want to do the same thing to the other. So my first thing that I might do here is I can see that I've got the y's on this side and I've got one y on this side. So I'm going to put my y over the other side. So what I'm going to do to my equation, and I'll just put in red what I do each step, is I'm actually going to plus y to this side and plus y to this side, which is what that's going to give me is minus y plus y, which is just going to equal 0, and I'm just going to have an extra y over here. So I'll rewrite that out, and that's what we do each step. We just rewrite it out. So now I've got that plus y minus y is just going to equal 0. So I'm going to have 1 equals a half minus 0.7y plus 3/4 y plus y. My next step will be that I want to get my numbers all on the same side. So I've got a plus a half here, really. There's like a little invisible half. So I'm going to take half from both sides. So if I take half from this side, that'll be a half, take a half equals 0. And that means I have to do the same with this side. So now I've got 1 take a half equals, that becomes a 0, minus 0.7y, and 3/4 y plus y. And then it's going to be easier for me if I convert my fractions to decimals here. So my next step will be change all this into, and I'm really stretching out the steps here. So I'm going to go minus 0.7y plus 0.75y plus y. Now I collect my like terms. So I join my numbers together and I join my y's together. You can do this at any step that you want where you can. Just I want to go through it step by step. So my next step will be 1 take a half equals a half equals, then I've got minus 0.7 plus 0.75, so that'll just equal 0.05 plus a whole y. So that's going to equal 1.05 y. And now I've got this situation here where I might as well change that to 0.5 because I'm working in decimals at the moment, so I'll keep working in decimals. And now I've got this 0.5 here. I've still got a number here, and then I've got one y, and I really just want to have a single y by itself. So to get this over the side, this is really 1.505 times y. So to reverse that, I need to divide both sides by 1.05. So divide by 1.05, divide by 1.05. That'll turn that into a 1, and then I've just got one y. So my next step is 0.05 divided by 1.05 equals y. Now I can just solve that. Divided by 1.05 will equal y equals 0.48. So that's going to be my answer for that one. So that's our first type of equation. So you collect the like terms, you move them around so they're all on the right side, and you get the y by itself. So you'll get it to this stage here where you're going to have just a number, you're going to have some number in front of your y, then you're going to have to divide that number across to finish it off. The second type that we've got here is this type of question where we've actually got some brackets in there as well, and I've drawn this out poorly. And it's just adding in a step really, so I might need to give myself some space. So the only step we're adding here is we've got to expand our brackets out to start with. So we're going to have 12z. So that's the first thing I'll do. I'll just expand my brackets out so I can see exactly what's going on. Now I've got minus 5 times 8z and minus 5 times minus 2 when I expand out my brackets. So I'm going to have minus 40z and minus, that becomes a positive, minus 5 times minus 2 equals plus 10 equals minus a half. Now I want to get all my numbers on one side and all my variables on the other. So we can actually join these two terms up here now. So what I'll do there is I'll change that into, what's that, 28 minus 28z when I have 12z minus 40z plus 10 equals minus a half. And now I'm actually going to add the 28z over to the other side. So I'll plus 28z to both sides, giving me 10 equals minus a half plus 28z. Next, I'm going to add a half to this side, so I have 10.5 equals 28z. Now my final step is to divide both sides by 28. So I'm going to have 10.5 divided by 28 equals z. Cool. So that's our step there. The third type of problem that we've got is a little bit tricky as well, and a little bit harder, and it's really, but you can see it's just this first step here. We've got 3 divided by 2x plus 3 equals 2. So the first thing I need to do in this scenario is actually pretend there's brackets on there, and I want to get this number by itself over here, and I want to get the x by itself, but I can't, when it's in the denominator, I can't really do that. So what I actually do is actually times that 2x plus 3 on both sides. So if I times that there, then I'm going to have 3 divided by 2x plus 3 times by 2x plus 3, so that'll just go to 1, and that means I have to times 2x plus 3 over to this side. So to rewrite that out, I now have 3 equals 2 times 2x plus 3. I expand out my brackets, giving me 3 equals 6x plus 6. I'm going to take the 6 across to the other side, giving me, so minusing that across will give me minus 3 equals 6x. I divide both sides by 6 now to get rid of this 6 term here, giving minus 3 over 6 equals x. Simplify my fraction, minus a half equals x.